Hey, Facebook fam. Just wanted to give you guys a big mwah for episode 3. 3. How's everybody doing? This is Rich Fontaine with another amazing, hopefully educational episode of Successful Conversations. Perfect. So I never like to waste anybody's time. I never want to not make this valuable for you. So if you're going to spend your minutes, your seconds listening to me or viewing me on Facebook Live, I want to make sure that it's something that you can take home with and something that you can use in your daily life. So my last talk, or my very first talk, was New Year's resolution, where I said you shouldn't have a New Year's resolution, but a New Year's revolution, meaning the whole regime of your old self has to go. And what I see, especially times when I go to the gym, the first month everybody's there, it's packed, but after a month or two, it's empty again. And everybody has their excuses. Rich, you don't know my situation. You don't know what James Smith said, my situation. And, things happen in my life. And I get it. Things happen to all of us. But we always have to make sure that we're clear on our objectives. So I want to give you 4 ways to stay committed to your goals. I use these 4 ways for me personally. And so I'm hoping that it can inspire you and have you use these skills or principles in your own life to stay committed to your goals. The worst thing and the worst feeling is regret. When you reach a place and say, I'm going to go do this year's going to be great, this is how everything's going to happen for me, this is going to be my year, and then when you're pursuing it, it all falls by the wayside, and then you wonder what happened. I didn't reach my goal, and then we come with a bunch of excuses and we get angry. But really, it's because of these 4 things. I think if you adopt these 4 things in your life, you will not only be successful in one venture, but in multiples. So I just want to show you one thing. I'm definitely not a bragger type person. I don't like bragging. I usually actually like to talk more about my mishaps and my failures more than I talk about my accolades. But I do want to show you one thing. These are ribbons. Oh, upside down. These are ribbons and awards that I've received in probably, 8 months, probably, for speaking at Toastmasters and going for a Toastmaster contest as well. And the point where I came from a novice of speaking to that point of winning ribbons and having people say, man, you're really good, and accolades, took some time, but it took me staying committed. So, number 1, to stay fully committed to your goals this year is, one of the 48 laws of power is see the end goal in mind. Or start with the end goal in mind. I think that's number 1. That's very important. Whenever you're pursuing a goal, see yourself already achieving it. See where that goal is leading you to. Vision it. See it. Know where you're going. Because if you don't have a map to where you're sailing, you'll end up in some shore of Bear Lake. So you have to always make sure you have your end goal in mind. You have the X on the map. Know where you're going. The only reason I kept going every single week, every single Wednesday to Toastmasters to practice, because I had my end goal in mind. To the point where I actually am going to be speaking with Les Brown on stage this weekend. Which is awesome. It's a dream come true. But that's how I saw myself. I saw these guys on YouTube. I saw these great performers. And I said, I want to be with them. I didn't want to be below them. I didn't want to be above them, but I want to be with them. So always see the end goal in mind. Remember, 48 Laws of Power. If you haven't read it, I would. But always start with the end goal in mind. Number two, I would say visualization. Visualization is a very, very powerful technique. If you're not a person that visualizes daily, I would say adopt that habit. You could either visualize it in your mind's eye, or you could use pictures. I used to use PowerPoint with a little bit of music to play in the background because the music inspired me, and so the visuals. So when I saw these visions, I saw myself in them. And it made me want to pursue it more and more and more. Like, I want to be there. I want to be there. Even though I'm here, but I saw myself there. So visualization is very, very important. Hey, what up, Steven? What up, Diane? You know, Steven's a great example. When you're working out, and if you're starting at chubby or skinny or whatever you're starting out at, you have to see yourself with the muscles. You have to see yourself with the nice physique. You have to visualize it. Either have pictures of something you want to be like, or talk to other people in the gym, and constantly see yourself as what you want. So visualization is extremely important to stay committed, because if you can't see it, you can't do it. Visualization, adult pretending. Pretty much, it is using your imagination. It's funny to me, the same things that I used to get in trouble in school are the same things that help me pursue in life. I used to talk all the time in class and get in trouble. Teachers get to the principal's office. And now it's the thing that has me chilling or hanging out with or being around one of the greatest speakers of all time. So definitely visualize. So number one, always start with the end goal in mind. And number two, visualize. Number three, I would want to say is make a pledge to yourself, right? Lots of times we fall off from our commitments because we didn't start with the commitment in the first place. Now, I asked Deshaun last time on this chat, and I said, if you, not particularly him, but just in general, if you're not fully committed to your goal, why should the universe be, right? So I take that extremely serious, because you have to understand, in order for you to stay fully on committed, you have to make a pledge to yourself that no matter how long it takes, what obstacles I have to do, what feats I have to jump through, what hoops I have to jump through, I will do it till I reach my goal to its completion. When you have that type of mindset, the door is open for you. Like, the universe truly gets out of your way. Will Smith said it best: just decide what is going to be, who you're going to be, and how you're going to do it. Just decide. And from that point, the universe gets out of your way. And I love that quote because it's so true. Once I made the pledge that this is it, this is where I'm going, it felt like everything kept swaying around me, pushing me towards that. Once you make that pledge to yourself, you make that pledge to your subconscious and tell yourself every day, I will not stop until I reach that goal. Make that pledge to yourself. And we live in a society where marriages fell, relationships fell, or, oh, he played me, I'm divorced. So quick and so rapidly, we don't make pledges to ourselves. Once you make a pledge to yourself that I'm committed to this till the end, commit to yourself to the end. Say there's no other options. Leave yourself no other options. Burn that other bridges. To say, I make a pledge to myself. Look yourself in the mirror and say, I make a pledge to you that no matter how long it takes, I will reach that goal. And that's very powerful, extremely powerful. And number 4 is listen, read, or hear or watch something positive every day. I listen to hey Sergio, what up, baby? I listen to a affirmation as soon as I wake up in the morning. I hear Les Brown speak. One of my favorite quotes: if you're ever faced with a decision between your heart and your mind, follow your heart. That's really big to me. So I always listen to something positive every day. I try to watch something funny before I go to sleep. And I always hear something positive throughout the day because it keeps me going. It keeps me committed to say, man, if these guys could do it, and they way worse, you know, way worse. Les Brown had to sleep on the floor. I didn't have to sleep on the floor. I slept on the couch a few times, but never on the floor. So if these guys can do it without the options of the internet and all these other features and things that we have that we take it for granted, and they can do it and follow their dreams and succeed and make it, what is our excuse? So that's why I love to listen to positive stories, stories that inspire me to make myself push further, push harder, go harder. That's how you stay committed. I was watching a movie called Unbreakable the other day where this man spent 127 days at sea. It's insane. So it made me wonder, what is my excuse? I'm not at sea. You know, I got air conditioning. So when you hear those type of stories, when you watch those type of things, it helps you stay committed because it makes you look at yourself deeply and say, what is my excuse? Why am I not reaching my goal? So again, I want to tell you about 4 things. 4 things to stay committed this year to your goal. Number 1, start with the end goal in mind. Always. Always know where you're going. Number 2, visualization. Always see yourself in your mind's eye that you're there. Because understand, your subconscious mind does not know the difference between a fantasy and reality. Let me repeat that again. Your unconscious mind does not know the difference between fantasy and reality. So when you're fantasizing, daydreaming in your mind's eye, your subconscious doesn't know the difference. So when you visualize yourself reaching that goal, your mind already thought it already happened. So it confuses it. So it's going to do everything possible to get you to that goal. Believe me, it's very powerful. I wouldn't be half the places I wasn't without visualization. And number 3, pledge. Make that pledge that no matter what it takes, I will reach my destination. When you make a pledge like that and you look yourself in the eye, in the mirror, it's powerful. It's very, very powerful. And number 4, always listen to something positive. I know, I grew up in the hip hop age, listening to, DMX, Jay-Z, Ja, and everybody else. But I started refraining from that a little bit just because of the negative connotations in the music. Because I want to always inspire myself to go harder. I wasn't doing no drive-bys. I wasn't selling no weight. So what do I want to do? I wanted to be somebody that inspires others. So I listened to things that inspired me. So it helped me stay committed to my goals. To know that if these people can go through these obstacles and these difficulties and still make it, what is my excuse, So those 4 things, remember that. Remember, Thomas Edison failed 10,000 times. When have you ever did 10,000 anything and still committed to his goal? That's powerful. So this year, to stay committed, do those 4 things. Take those 4 principles very seriously. If you really want to reach your goal, because some of us want to reach our goals and some of us just kind of want it. So you can either be a novice or you can have the luxury of becoming great. Again, I don't do that to brag. I don't say that to brag, but I say it to show what commitment does. I went to every Wednesday and on weekends and every day. I practice and practice and practice because that's how much I was committed to my goal and how much I wanted it. And my goal led me to speak with Les Brown this weekend. I'm so excited. I can't wait to come back next week and tell you guys about it. It's a dream come true. I never thought I would be here, but that's the power of the universe when you really commit yourself to it. So again, I'm going to leave you with this Will Smith quote. Just decide what you're going to do, who you're going to be, and how you're going to do it. Just decide. And from that point, the universe is going to get out of your way. All right, guys, I hope you got some value out of this conversation. Definitely. Oh, Pedro, Aubrey, haven't seen you guys in forever, man. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. And follow your dreams, guys. Do it. Because it's a lot better on the other side. Oh, and again, you could agree with me or not agree with me. But either way, I think this was a successful conversation. Power self. The more you know.